Okay, welcome to our week 8, kind of what we call the digital illustrations lecturing class. Alright, thank you very much for having me today, and thank you also. Hopefully you guys understand basically my kind of situations right now there, right? Okay, on the personal kind of occasions there, but I'm still basically I'm going to be show up, okay, for you guys there, okay. And that's basically one of the most important thing when it comes to develop our understanding on learning experience that we need basically to apply on our developments right here. All right, thank you very much for coming. Okay, hopefully everything okay will good basically for you guys there. Okay, so right now we actually are going to be develops and also experiment with those second exercise, which is our third exercise, which is there, right? Is animations there. All right, the things that we are going to combine together later on next week's when I actually set the brief for your final or your second assignments there, right? Okay, so right now, okay, I have been working on with this kind of practice for you guys last week. Okay, the thing is that I want to make some sort of clear kind of understanding, okay, when it comes to design the characters there. Okay, even though you might are going to be develop a new characters, for example, that the character that you done before, even though in graphical kind of looks is look presentables there, sometimes it doesn't mean it will be work on your animations kind of projects there, okay. Sometimes it won't be works there, okay, because of some of the complexity, some of the details of those elements that might not going to be stop you guys to animate the character yourself. Okay, as a graphic designer, even though you guys doesn't have this animation kind of subjects, I'm actually I felt very responsible to give you guys this kind of exposures. All right, to give you guys this kind of new exposures there. Okay, because of this kind of what we call the exercise and skill that you develops, basically, hopefully will help you guys to engage more further kind of understanding in the futures if you are going to design your own characters there, okay, for your clients' works, for your routine of jobs there, okay, and to upgrade basically your kind of skills and understanding at the same times. All right, so when it comes to develop the characters, yes, for the last 2 exercises that we did, I did not basically emphasize on these detailings when it comes to develop model turn around there, okay, model sheet turn around for the characters there. When we want to develop those character design basically for any kind of occasions, but especially for animations or comics there, right, we need to have this kind of guideline as a designers to give other people's those visual information about our own kind of structures, of our own kind of ideas of our design there, right? Okay, so that's basically what we should do as a designers there. We actually have responsibility to give another designers or maybe animators, people who actually going to be work for us, to have a very proper guide for our design there. Basically whatever that we visualize there, people need to follow them, okay. But the experienced animators normally or illustrators, they can actually improvise from our design there according to the post that they actually quite very thought basically are going to be useful for certain kind of scene or certain kind of angle and shot there, right. That's basically if you can work with experienced what we call the illustrators or animators there. If you will work with a lot of non-experienced or less experienced kind of people directly or co-workers directly, you need to have this kind of guide in order for you to emphasize on your way of thinking about your design, your kind of standard kind of quality that you want for your design there, okay. So people won't argue about your kind of ideas anymore, because all this kind of design have been proved by the management, for example, creative directors there, okay, or the project managers there, right. So our animators or our co-workers, our basic colleague need to follow exactly what we actually have been planned for them. If you guys actually give some detailed visual, right, okay. Right now I just give you guys some basics kind of understanding there only, okay. So when it comes to design your characters there, guys, first of all you have to design a few number kind of poses there before you're going to develop this model sheet turnaround, right, okay, that we call model sheet turnaround for the characters, the character guide there, right. Okay, character guide there, right. So what we can do, okay, this is basically a rough sketches after I design one of those what we call that poses, which is a walk cycle that I did, right, to give it more kind of understanding about my own creations. So as a designers there, we need to have understanding, a very clear understanding about our own creations. If you not be able to control your own design, you cannot actually work with your own design, okay? It doesn't mean, it means basically you're not actually understand enough about your own kind of what we call that creations there. So we need to develop that kind of understanding by practicing, developing, and do a few number kind of sketches that based on that. So normally, okay, in my kind of what we call experience that I did there, okay, I will design a bunch of basically poses, a bunch kind of what we call that angles and shots there, okay, or positions for my characters there, or maybe some expressions there. So let's just say that I'm going to design a few number kind of expressions like based on this design there, right? So what I can do, okay, let's just say I want to design these characters look a bit more happy there, right? Okay, like this. Okay, so I will design these characters kind of expressions there first. Okay, roughly, before basically I'm going to reuse back again later on, okay, for my animations there, right? Okay, see? Alright, so this kind of what we call that expressions, poses, actions, behaviors, attitude that we can create for our design there, right, will help people understand more about what we're going to, the directions that we want to have for our own characters there. And the characters should look a bit more alive and have a soul based on the visual kind of presentations over here. Soul there, right? Okay? We create some soul from there. That's why when you design the characters look a bit more stiff, look a bit more like a puppet there, right? They are not going to give a bit more engagement between you and your audience there. It doesn't have any connections from there. Alright, that's basically, as a designer, you have to think of there, okay? You need to have that kind of senses of understanding there when you design them. Not only design aesthetical values, okay, they look quite pretty only there, okay? They look nice only there, okay? No. We need to basically have that kind of, we need to brush up and inject basically some of those souls visually, okay, to show the attitude for these characters. Otherwise, the characters are not going to look appealing for the audience there. Okay, that's the first thing that you need to always aware when it comes to design your characters itself. So when you actually have design, let's just say a few number kind of poses there, okay, few number kind of actions there, okay, now you actually can draw and develop some guideline, okay, how the characters are going to be look alike when it comes to 3 or 4 or 5 different positions there. Normally I'm going to design basically from 3/4, front view, and of course side profile there. A lot of people fail side profile kind of what we call that methods there, okay, to develop the characters there. For example, like this one, okay, these characters there, okay, if you study back again the structures of shapes of it, okay, if I want to study the structures of shapes of it there, right, so what I can do from here, I will study basically the characters, maybe the shapes is look like a little bit more like a oval there, right, from these positions there, okay, oval kind of shapes there, right, okay, look like an egg there, okay, positions. If you basically develop the breakdown of these character shapes into 3-dimensional kind of looks, it might going to be look like this, okay, the shapes of these characters over here, okay. Understand about the shape that you're going to break down. Okay, this part, right, okay, the body itself, even though I draw a bit more like a square like this one there, right, or maybe a triangle like this, right, okay, but if you go through back again, I can actually design also these characters using those cylinders there shapes, right, cylinders kind of shape there. Alright, the hands, the arm itself, okay, if you check it back again, it came from that what we call the shapes of, for example here, from cylinders there, right? Okay, at the same time, okay, cylinders, right? There's two cylinders there. Shapes, all right. One cylinders over here, and another huge cylinders over here. Okay, and if I want to break down a little bit, okay, don't forget to group up the hands itself. It may came from the shape itself, like this one, right? The shape, right, like triangles, and combine with another triangle, small triangles there to draw the hands. Okay, the fingers and hands there, right? So this part basically the legs there, okay, the bottom part there, okay, it can be worked with another cylinders over here, and another cylinders over here, for example, there, right? And the last one are going to be triangle. Okay, shapes. This one, oval shapes. The ears are going to be in oval kind of shapes. Same goes to this part. And the hair, basically, okay. Alright. You guys still with me there, right? Still with me, right? Oops. Should not open this one. And if you look back again right here, later, okay, how actually break down all the shape itself there, okay, they will look a bit more logical for you to see how actually the shapes are being break down. Even though you look very simple, those characters look like this there, okay, but develop those understandings is really important right now, okay, when it comes to check look carefully how actually I work with those kind of design at the same time, okay. The eyes, the nose itself came from this particular kind of cylinders, and I'm using another half of the circles there, okay. And of course, okay, from these 3/4 positions, normally the eyes are going to be more smaller from this side there, right, okay. And then the hair itself, okay, if you check the hairline there, okay, this is the hair kind of strokes or actions kind of lines, right. This one basically, okay, the position when the characters is what we call that running there, okay, and it blow by the wind there, okay, the hair there, okay. If I want to break down a little bit right here, okay, let's just say this is his sideburns, okay, and how actually going to do on the hair might going to be look like this, okay, in a static or rest kind of positions, okay, rest positions there, maybe going to be look like this, okay. So the thing is, right now when I actually design all this hair kind of sketch there, okay, I need to confirm back again whether it's going to be looks exactly what I actually imagine, or I have to redesign a little bit, right, according to what I think is quite possible there. Sometimes when we want to design those hair, we need to simplify basically the shapes, okay, especially like a simplification or stylized kind of characters like this. Anime, manga is a different kind of what we call that way of working, right? For example, if you draw anime or manga character styles, they're right. Okay. If I want to design anime or manga character styles, right, the hairlines, okay, should be break down a little bit more different way. Okay, so you need to refer a few number kind of anime or manga kind of styles that works on that. But when it comes to this kind of animations kind of styles, to give us a bit more easiest way or path to animate the right, we need to break down the shapes of it also very carefully there, okay, before we're going to this outline to work on it. So this is basically, okay, design kind of process is very, very critical. Okay, if you are not basically willing enough to spend more time to look into your own design, okay, for me, okay, people who have skills, we are not going to be fascinated with them if they just can't actually design a characters in one single positions and look nice. To test basically their ability to develop those design in a more efficient way with the skill that they have, they need to show basically they understand how to manipulate and do some modification on their design by working with the 3 or 4 different kind of positions, and they can design or repeat to develop all these kind of ideas back again, all these characters directly in multiple kind of poses or actions kind of poses. That's basically the true kind of skills that you guys can apply for animations. Alright, so if you're not willing to have that kind of understanding there, you have to practice more. Okay, in terms of animations, when people ask me there, okay, is there any kind of easiest way to animate characters? Yes, but when it comes to animate the real characters for any kind of projects, okay, there's nothing basically easy about it. Enjoy the animation programs is quite easy there, okay, you guys can actually just enjoy them, okay. But whether you're going to enjoy yourself to develop your skills, to develop your characters, is another level of patience. Okay, so 3D turnaround, model turnaround, okay, is not actually work for 2D animations only. When you work with 3D animations later on, 3D animations, right, okay, you need to have this kind of basics, you need to have this fundamental kind of process there to guide your characters, builders there, okay, modelers there, right. So this is basically some critical, some crucial, and also is a very important kind of process for any productions of animations there. Okay, even though you want to create some icon for any sport event, Olympic there, right, okay, they have that kind of mascot there, right, you will actually have, we're going to go through with this kind of process at the same time. Okay, that's why create these characters is quite, when you want to design your characters, the first thing that you need to make sure that, okay, especially your own projects there, right, you must be able to fall in love with your design. If you're not willing to fall in love with your design, you're not actually enjoy to design your characters, that means you need to change your design. If you find a lot of burden, a lot of responsibility, a lot of obstacles when it comes to design your own creations, you need to change as quick as possible, okay? Otherwise, you're going to sacrifice your times, you're going to be played, or maybe you are going to be a part of those curse there, okay, of your own design, okay? You're cursing basically your own design there, right, okay? So that's basically you need to understand right now. Okay, when it comes to develop, either you exercise or maybe you're just playing around with your designs, make sure you really enjoy to work with it. Okay, you will see some possible kind of errors, okay? When I actually animate these characters there, okay, when I actually design them, okay, clean up those lines back again, when I look into my first kind of rough sketch of 3 different kind of poses there, okay, 3 different kind of actions, poses that based on the round cycles, I'm actually more appreciate this kind of sketch line there, okay, for my characters over here. Okay, this basically this kind of what we call that. Oops. Group back again. Don't forget to group your elements there all the time. So if you take a look there, right, I felt right my rough sketches that I actually did for my gestures kind of line for this front cycle is more better than this one, right? And this is some of the senses that you actually can build up along the way when you can develop your design senses. Okay, your animation senses there, right? So if you get more experience later on there, okay, and you watch a lot of more cartoons, okay, and your free time there, okay, you will find some of those possibilities that you can design your characters in your own way. And of course, you have to learn about the 12 principles there, okay? If you really love those animations there, right? For me there, okay, from what I have experienced there before, if you love design characters, don't stop your kind of skills. Don't stop develop your skill only a purpose to design characters there, okay? Try to advance yourself, to learn about animations there, to learn about directions there, to learn about background design, to learn about what we call that, how to conduct basically some animations kind of works, and do some sort of like color code and scheme there, right, okay, and do some editing a little bit there, and try to become a director at the same time that I get to guide those projects there. You will have a bit more advantage later on because you already know in and out about those kind of production itself. Okay, that's the things that we have to be aware. Okay, don't just actually stay basically in the same kind of positions of work, kind of what we call that flows there. Okay, so that's the thing that you have to always bear in your mind. Always upgrade basically your skills, not only using the application itself, but the process of working there. Okay, because for me there, okay, this is some of the works that I've done right now for one of the clients there. So when I actually design these characters there, okay, I actually take a few number kind of times to basically to what we call that, to do some research there, okay, about some of the suitable kind of design they actually can use there, okay, to develop this kind of project, okay, for my clients. So when I actually have the rough sketch, I don't know whether I have this kind of rough sketch anymore right here. Look like I don't have any more there, right? Okay, the rough sketch. Or maybe I have that, right? I still have that. Oops, not here. Not this one there, right? So I doesn't have any rough sketch anymore, right? Okay. So when I actually sketch basically those kind of characters there, okay, same goes, the same kind of method that I use basically to sketch this guy there, right? Okay, same kind of methods there. So I refine basically all the line itself, and if you check it there, right, every single part basically that I make some possibilities to animate later on, I have actually grouped them up, and there's a lot of more works that I have to do from here there, okay, but this is only concept design for my clients there. When the client has been improved my design, I'm going to continue to work with some expressions there, some certain kind of poses there, okay, certain kind of what we call that dialogue, kind of what we call that expressions and lip syncs to animate the characters later on, okay. So same goes to these girls and also this bird itself there, okay. I'm using a lot of basic structures kind of shape to design all these characters, guys. And the background design that I made there, okay, I sketch out freely from there and give a little bit kind of environments, kind of sceneries, okay, some sort of like the scenarios, okay, for the scene itself, okay, to give a bit more like a concept kind of stylish for this particular kind of projects. All right, if you actually willing to experiment more further later on, yes, we are going to experience them for basically our final kind of assignments there. Just get ready out of it, okay, and keep on practicing. Alright guys, any questions so far about our projects, about our submissions for this week? And the other thing there, okay, I have to remind you guys, make sure that you guys using only one layers for each particular kind of design that you actually combine together there, okay. I saw basically, okay, one of our friends, 2 or 3 of our friends are, okay, they basically work with a lot of layers for every single pass there, right? So right now, please basically don't basically torture your process of working. Torture your process of working there, okay? That's the thing is there, right, first. And of course, open up your mind to explore more kind of design kind of process or design kind of styles there, okay? In order for you to have more flexibilities on your ideas when you come develop all those animations kind of characters there, right? Okay? Any possibilities there, guys. Okay, you can watch a lot of animated kind of cartoon kind of reference there on YouTube to open up your mind. You know what? When I was like your age, I would spend almost every night there, okay? Almost every night, okay? Do some research, but not doing cartoons, but not drawing cartoons anymore, right? At that time, right? But I would watch any kind of animation, any kind of genre styles there, okay? In Astro, okay? To develop my kind of, to open up basically my mind, my creative kind of understanding, and to basically to appreciate a lot of animations kind of style other than anime or manga, right? Even though I also love anime and manga, okay, but I did not basically lock myself to appreciate only one particular style, okay? Because in these worlds, you need to have that kind of flexibilities there, right? Okay, in order for you to open up your mind to design more further to your works there, right? I don't know whether I actually have shared with you guys that before. Okay, when it comes to develop all these kind of characters and design there, right? Let me see. Okay, when I basically design a few number kind of characters that before, where is it? Game design. Okay, game project, right? Okay, if we take a look at all this kind of design that I have right now, okay, Super Metal Cop, right? Okay, take a look at these characters there. I'm taking basically these ideas from Iron Man there, right? Okay. All these characters based from this guy. Okay, this guy that I actually animated, that I actually designed before. So I design all these characters according to those Iron Man kind of influence, but whatever that I'm going to animate, okay, these characters later on, I will break down all the shapes that I need in order for me to animate them later on, right? What else there? New character design that based on my sketches there, guys. Okay, this is basically my rough sketches on this design itself. Okay, so from here, some of those designs that I actually love to look there, okay, and break down, I have breakdown a bit, okay. This guy came from one of the characters from Gundam there, okay, the Alliance, okay, I think from Zaku or Zaki there, okay, kind of armor kind of suits. So I have also a lot of influence there from any movies that I actually watched there, right? So if you actually have that open up your mind to explore any possibilities on your designs, okay, on your designs, you can come up with a more better kind of design on your own there, okay? That's the thing that I actually have designed there before, okay? A few number kind of ideas there from here. Okay, a few number kind of color combinations that I actually try to explore at the same time there, right? So that's basically I did for myself, okay? Even do logo design like this, but I don't have basically the colors that what we call itself there, right? Basically that's what we call that, those. This is some of those samples, okay, which is I designed for this casual apps kind of games there. Okay, take a look at these characters over here. Every single part basically I find that I'm going to animate later on. Okay, I can use them back actually. Okay, for example like this one there, right? I can animate, I can rotate, know this part there, right? Okay, the body part are there, the hands part are okay, the machine gun itself. What do you want to follow, say? So I can actually rotate that, see? So planning your designs properly will give you more kind of advantage there, okay? To work with to animate your characters later on. Okay. Find the best applications that will guide you to develop more understanding on your character's works there first. If you actually can work properly in Photoshop, go ahead. Okay. But if you think that Photoshop kind of works are not going to have your speed of time there, okay, to work with it, you need to change basically your kind of way of working using the right kind of applications there. Working with the right kind of applications will affect basically our way of process of working there. Alright guys, so this is basically some examples of some of the works that I've done progressively there, right? Okay, so if we check a look, okay, some of the works that other than that, like this, okay, these characters there, okay. If I want to share basically back again the frame rate, okay, this one basically I added a few number kind of layers there, 3 layers there, okay, to animate these characters there. But if you check look closely there, okay, these animations I didn't extend basically the frame rate because I'm using 10 frames per second there, not 25 frames there, okay. So when I actually get ready those kind of animations, I will basically going to extend the frames into 25 frames per second for these animations there, right? So all these kind of possibilities on your design, if you work correctly, they will give a lot of advantage there, okay, on your presentations too. Alright, what else that we have right here? This is basically some of the design works, okay, some of the poses there, character design, the main titles there, some expressions, bee characters. I saw basically Venus basically designed some bees there, right? So comparing your bees and mine there, okay, you guys can take looks which one is more appealing there, right? So this is some of the jobs that I've done there, guys, okay, not basically launched yet, but this is some of the progressions of my own works there. Okay, I share with you guys exclusively there right here right now. Okay, hopefully you guys can open up your mind more further from here. Okay, see, this is how basically right here some of the things I've done right here. If you actually have managed to understand about your animations, right, you can actually play with some of the layers there, okay, to work with it. Where basically the levels, okay, this is I think the background there, right, some environments and background for my design there. Okay, so how basically I'm controlling basically all these characters all together there, right? Okay, this is basically came from one of those platforming kind of games there. All right, so if you take a look carefully right now, okay, how actually I'm going to work this kind of designs, we're going to be affected basically the whole environment itself there. Okay, so think as a graphic design students, don't think like a layman. Like, I think you guys play games more than me, So if you cannot get some influence based on your own design from any kind of existing kind of games or any kind of cultures, pop cultures that you have in mind, right? It will be basically doesn't have any kind of changes, okay, from your creative kind of experience from here. Okay, guys, any questions? Any kind of inquiries that we're going to submit for this Sunday? No? Okay, guys, I have one more thing that I have to share with you guys today. Basically, okay, on Monday I have to send over my mom basically to the hospital back again for the further checkup, okay, at hospital HKL, okay, General Hospital at Kuala Lumpur, right. So maybe there, okay, I might going to be cancel the class, or maybe I'm going to postpone the class, okay, at the moments because of the situations there. So if you have any kind of inquiries, maybe, okay, maybe I'm going to update with you guys later on, okay, whether they're going to be confirmed or not. But the date, basically the confirmation of the date are going to be on Monday, okay, before basically our Merdeka Day, right, okay. So just take notes on it, okay, and I will inform you back again on Sunday whether we're going to have a class or not, right, okay. So because the appointment may be in the morning there, right. So that's the thing that I have right now, basically the situation itself there, right, okay. So basically I lose a lot of things basically, okay. I will risk a lot of things, not basically on our classes there, by myself there, okay. On my side itself, okay. That's why I don't want to cancel the class there. Simply I don't want to cancel the class there, right. So hopefully you guys can preparing basically your what we call that, your exercise there first until the Sundays, and next week's on Friday we are going to launch basically our first assignment, our second assignments kind of brief there, okay. So we're going to take a look what we're going to work on those 5 weeks before we submit the whole kind of recorded projects there, okay. So we have more time basically to develop, exploring and combining basically between animation and live actions there. That's basically I can give you a hint there, okay, combining live actions there, okay. I have a few number kind of samples which is I'm going to share with you guys later on, and we can explore from there, okay. We can explore from there. The concept of those presentations, I already have some samples there, but I don't want to launch today, so we'll leave it until next week to work on that, because I want you guys to focus more on developing your concept of understanding using this animations kind of way of working there, right, okay. Alright, so any questions so far? On Mondays I will confirm back again whether we're going to have a class or not there, right, okay, for these 3 sessions there. Any questions? Any kind of inquiries? No? Alright, okay, thank you very much there, guys. So I see you guys back again there, okay, next week, Friday and Tuesday before Merdeka Day there, right. Monday we're going to confirm back again. We're just going to update only there, okay. Alright, thank you very much guys. Have a good day and have a good weekend at the same time. Good luck with your exercise over here. Enjoy the process of working and exploring more further from there. Alright, thank you very much. Have a good day. Yes. I cannot post in the classrooms, but I'm going to post in my YouTube directly and the link itself directly. Okay, Sean? Alright, thank you very much there, okay, everyone. Have a good day. And see you guys around there, okay? Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Okay, bye.